Well, welcome to La Center Church today. We're glad that you've tuned in and to visit with us a little bit at this time as we look forward to the things that are going on within our church and within our community.
Now, with that said, as the church is starting to gather again here in the building, one of the things that we want to say is we are still in phase 2 in Clark County. Now, that doesn't mean you can't come to the church, because there has been plenty of room for people to come and socially distance if needed. But what it does mean is that soon we're going to be entering phase 3, hopefully, because our county has applied for phase 3, right?
Exactly, and they applied last week for phase 3, and we're waiting to hear. And when that happens, that we can grow to about 50% of our capacity, which means that there is no reason we can't have our normal attendance that we used to be at. So anyway, that's coming up. So pay attention to the news, and when we enter into phase 3, that opens up further opportunities for us. Now, as we mentioned, we are in phase 2, and we do have masks and sanitizer available in the lobby if you'd like to wear those. Or you can't wear sanitizer, but if you'd like to use a mask, we have that available.
Now, with that said, what we want to emphasize when it comes to the masks, if you put on the mask, we want you to know there's no shame in wearing a mask. We're not going to shame you if you wear a mask or think, why is he overprotecting himself? However, if you choose to not wear a mask, we're also equally not going to shame you for not wearing a mask. Part of the reason why is when you come here, like anything in life, we all take a bit of responsibility of ourself onto us when we go anywhere, including church.
And there is a risk in coming, but I think it's a very minor risk, to get that virus. So anyway, we want to encourage you to protect yourself and do what you feel is necessary. And like I said, there's no shame involved, and we will not turn anyone away here at the church. That's just been an attitude. The gospel is open to everyone.
Absolutely. And with that said, last Sunday I thought was fantastic, Mike.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed it. One of the things that Mike touched on, which I think we all struggle with, is trying to climb the ladder of success. But Mike, there's some problems when we try to do that. What happens if we climb and then we start slipping down a few rungs?
Well, the issue that we all face is we tend to find our sense of worth and value by climbing that ladder. And so if that's where we're getting our sense of value and worth, if we slip down or fall off the ladder, then we feel like a failure, and it shatters that sense of worth. And the reality is that we all go through times of suffering, and we will fall off the ladder in those times. And if our sense of worth and our value is tied to the ladder, then when we go through suffering, we're going, why is this happening to me? Have I been a bad person? And that's not the truth at all. And sometimes God will take us into that valley of suffering for specific purposes. Anyway, that's some of the things we talked about a little bit last week. We're going to continue that theme this coming week as well.
Which is going to be a lot of fun. I'm super excited about it. Now, the next thing on La Center Church's agenda, it's one of the few things that we have going here at the church because a lot of other things have been canceled, is our community garage sale. So we are still taking donations for our garage sale up until practically the day. But one of the things that we are going to need is help. And that includes sorting, that includes volunteers putting things together, taking things out, and for the sale itself.
Exactly. And actually this Sunday, we need some people that would be willing to get their hands dirty a little bit as we put the big canopy up. And so we'll put that up right after the service in the lawn on the back side of the sanctuary, and we'll get that ready. And we need people all through next week helping to sort things out and get it ready, and especially on the day of the yard sale, because we want to have time to interact with the people that come to our sale and to greet them and to welcome them and to make them feel at home, and that the church cares about them, because we're all hungry for relationship. And that gives us that opportunity.
Isn't it interesting how a garage sale has become one of our pinpoints of ministry because everything else has
This summer, yeah.
Shut down. So next on the agenda is youth. So just so you guys know, the youth group has been going strong for the last few weeks as we've had it, though I have several of my students that are going to be getting ready for having a job, and their schedule is going to be busier. So what's happening is we're going to be transitioning from our regular Wednesday night to our summer schedule. That doesn't mean there's not planned things over the summer. In fact, there's going to be a lot of really fun activities, starting with on the 18th, we're going to have a youth group paintball event at Royal Ridges Camp. If you want further detail with that, please contact me, or if you're a young person, come to youth group this Wednesday, and I'm going to have all the forms and the exact amount of money you're going to need for that. It's going to be at 10 o'clock, but we're going to meet early at the church on the 18th.
So if you're part of the paintball and you get hit, which I'm sure you will, does it sting?
It does sting. So there's a chance that it might hurt a little.
A little bit. So that sounds like a lot of fun. So it's the teens that are part of that. And what happens now with the people that are kind of past the teenage stage? What's going on with them?
Oh, that's excellent. So one of the things that I've been able to initiate here at church for the first time since I've been here is a young adults program. And we kicked it off. We went on a fantastic hike as well at Royal Ridges, and we had pizza afterwards. It was a lot of fun. We actually met some new people, and it was great just having community. And what's interesting is we have one of our graduates from youth group. He went straight from youth group, and now he's a part of the young adults, and he's instantly plugged in with another fantastic community of believers and basically doing fun activities and fellowship.
Well, sounds good. Well, we want to kind of refocus our attention on what's happening this coming Sunday. And our theme this Sunday is kind of the story of salvation and this valley of suffering that we all enter into. And so we want to look at that. When we look at the story of salvation, we see that God created mankind for relationship. And because of sin, that relationship is now broken, and there's suffering as a result of sin. And we all are, experiencing the penalty of death. And that's very hopeless.
Very hopeless. It kind of reminds me of a book that I think, didn't we just go through a book kind of like that?
Something about Ecclesiastes?
Yeah.
Vanity, vanity, all is vanity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like when you look at Ecclesiastes, you're seeing in a lot of ways one side of this valley entering into the valley, however, with very few glimpses of the other side as you're leaving the valley. And it's to contrast the hopelessness versus the hope that we can find.
Yeah, and so we see that we have entered this valley of suffering and death, and our theme is from death to life. There's hope yet, but we've entered this valley of suffering, and we're stuck there except for our Savior, who also entered this valley of suffering and death and came out the other side with the resurrection life, having a transformed body. And now we have that opportunity to respond to that message. And so this valley of suffering kind of transitions into a valley of transformation. We're going to start introducing that theme this Sunday,
which is going to be a lot of fun. I'm super excited to see you guys in person or online this next coming weekend. I know one of the things I want to quickly touch on is we had a few technical issues on our internet and on Facebook. Bear with us. Part of that was on us, but part of that actually had to do with our provider, our streaming service. But we're excited to see you this next Sunday. Thank you so much for tuning in to La Center Church today. Have a fantastic rest of your day.
But now, before you leave, we do have to comment that our wives didn't dress us. It was by accident this time, just like it was kind of the time before, that we both kind of wore the same outfit on a Sunday a couple weeks ago. But it's just fun. We wanted to tease each other about that.
That's true.
Thanks for tuning in. See you on Sunday.